Welcome to lecture 12 on stochastic processes. In this lecture, I will discuss two examples of recurrent Markov chains. Both examples are related to random walks. So, first I start with one dimensional unrestricted random walk. So, what does it mean? It means there is a particle, if you consider that there is a particle and it can move from 0 to 1, 1 to 2 and so on, or 0 to -1, -1 to -2 and so on. So that means it can go up to plus infinity or up to minus infinity. So this is unrestricted. So there is no restriction, there is no boundary fixed in this random walk. Now it says that if you move right side one step, the probability is small p, and probability of moving left is small q. So of course p plus q is equals to 1. So whenever you move from 0 to 1, the probability is p. If you move from 1 to 2, probability is p. And if you move from 2 to 1, the probability is q. 1 to 0, the associated probability is q. 0 to -1, the associated probability is q. So this is a pictorial representation of the one dimensional unrestricted random walk. So first we observe that this is a Markov chain, because if you are at 0 position, you can move either to 1 or to -1. So it does not depend upon before 0 you were where. What was your position before 0? That is not required here. So it is a Markov chain, and now you can see that from any state to any state the movement is possible. That means if you want to go from 0 to 7, you can easily go from 0 to 7, 0 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, 5 to 6 and 6 to 7. Similarly, you can go from 7 to 3 or anywhere. So that means every state is communicable with other state. So this chain is actually irreducible. So note that note that that the chain is irreducible. Why it is irreducible? Because every state can be reached from every other state. Also, you can easily see that it is a periodic chain, because if you leave 0 and move towards 1, then you can come back to 0 after 2 steps or after 4 steps: 0 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 1 and 1 to 0. So either you take 2 steps to move back, or you will take 4 steps, or you will take 6 steps. So you can easily see that it is a 0 is a periodic state with period 2, and since it is irreducible Markov chain, every state will have same behavior. So because periodicity is a class property and we have single class here, so all other states will have period 2. So this whole chain is periodic with period 2. So this chain is irreducible and periodic, and periodic with period 2. Okay. Now this p, I have already told you that this p is the probability of moving right one step, q is the probability of moving left one step, and of course p plus q is equals to 1. So now what is our aim? Our aim is to show that this chain is a recurrent chain. That means every state will be recurrent. So it is sufficient to show that only one state is recurrent, because it is irreducible Markov chain. So all states will have same behavior, because recurrence and transient, we have already seen that they are class properties. So we will only show that state 0 is recurrent in under some restrictions on P and Q. So we actually show that. So we will show that so that the state 0, or you may say origin, or the origin, if you consider it x-axis, or the origin is recurrent if and only if P is equals to Q is equals to half. That means when this P and Q both are same, and we know that P plus Q is equals to 1, that means they will be half. So this random walk is known as symmetric random walk. When P and Q both are same, then this is known as symmetric random walk, because you have equal probabilities moving right or left. So we will show that this 0 is recurrent, but you know that if origin is recurrent, then all states are recurrent because the chain is irreducible. So, however, if the origin is recurrent, then all these states are recurrent. Because why it will happen? Because recurrent because the chain is irreducible, because the chain is irreducible. Okay, now you can see that if you start from origin, it is impossible to return to the origin in odd number of steps, because if you take odd number of steps, for example, if you take step 1, then you will be either in state 1 or you will be either in state -1. You cannot return back. For returning back, you have to take 2 steps at least, or 4 steps, or 6 steps, because the period is 2. So the return is only possible in the multiples of 2. So that means if you take odd number of steps, it is impossible to return. So we can say that probability 0 to 0 in any odd number of steps, this probability will be 0 for any n ranges from this. So if you put n is equals to 0, it will take 1 step. If you put n is equals to 1, it will take 3 steps. That means in any odd number of steps, starting from 0, a return is not possible to 0, because of this has period 2. Now, since it has a period 2, that means you can return back in 2 steps, or in 4 steps, or in 6 steps. So in 2n steps, there are, if you are returning back in 2n steps, for example, then there are total number of n steps to the right side and n steps to the left side. Remember that if you are starting from 0 and you want to return back, so if you are moving 5 steps forward, then you have to move 5 steps backward to return back to 0. Okay, so those 5 steps may not be consecutive, one forward, one backward, again forward, again backward, whatever. But those 5 steps, if there are 5 steps in right direction, then there must be 5 steps in the left direction to return back to 0. So if there are 2n steps, and then there will be n steps to the right side and total n steps to the left side. And whatever you are returning back to the left side, remember that those steps taken to the right, they will be just reverse in the order. Because for example, you are going from 0 to 1, then there will be one step which will go from 1 to 0. So that means you are moving forward and backward in exactly in the same manner. So you will have 2n steps, and there will be how many possible paths. So in particular, so particularly in 2n steps, if we are using 2n steps, there are 2n cn. That means factorial 2n divided by factorial n and factorial n different paths, different paths or combinations that that begin and end at the origin. Okay, so you can easily see what is the probability. So what is p 002n? What it will be? So you can understand that you are taking 2n steps, n will be forward, n will be right side, n will be left side. So this is just a binomial distribution. If you consider right side as success and left side movement as failure, so you are moving n success and n failures. So 2n cn p to the power n and q to the power n. So this is just a binomial distribution. Out of 2n steps, you want to n success and n failures. So we want to show that 0 is a recurrent state. So for that we will use the theorem which we have proved, that a state 0 is said to be recurrent if summation p00n, n ranges from 0 to infinity, is infinite. So we will use that. So we will find out this sum n ranges from 0 to infinity p00n. So you can see that this is nothing but n ranges from 0 to infinite p00 plus 1 and p00 and n ranges from 0 to infinite. So because just what I am doing, I am just taking even and odd separately. So these are the odd numbers. If you put 0, you will get 1. If you put 1, you will get 3. So these are the steps 1, 3 and 5, and these are the steps 0, 2, 4 and so on. So we have already seen that odd probabilities, odd step transition probabilities are 0. So this is nothing but only the even steps transition probabilities. That means 2n cn p to the power n q to the power n. So now our aim is to show that this series is convergent or divergent based upon the values of p and q. So for this there is a famous formula which is known as Stirling formula. So we will use that formula here. So what it says that Stirling's formula. So we are going to use this. It says that factorial n can be approximated by n to the power n e to the power minus n square root of 2 pi n. This is the Stirling formula. It says that we can approximate factorial n by this number. So what does this sign? What is the meaning of this mathematically? So this mathematically says that fn is approximated by gn. What does it mean? It means mathematically that limit fn divided by gn n tending to infinite is 1. This is mathematical meaning, and what this implies? This implies that f and g grows at the same rate. That means they are growing in the same rate. That's why this ratio comes out to be 1. So we will use this formula for our finding out these things. So we can understand that first we have to see that what this P002n is actually, because this is this series is nothing but n from 0 to infinity P002n. So now we will focus upon using this formula here. So first understand that P002n, what is this? P002n is nothing but factorial 2n divided by factorial n, that means this 2n cn, p to the power n, q to the power n. So now you can use 2n. So if you approximate 2n, then it will give you 2n to the power 2n, because n to the power n, then e to the power minus 2n, then square root 2 pi into 2n. Okay, so this factorial n, upper numerator factorial 2n, I have replaced by this function using Stirling formula. Then this factorial n, so this is n to the power n, e to the power minus n, 2 pi n square root, and this will be whole square because factorial n is 2 times. Then p to the power n, q to the power n. So what is this? If you focus upon this, so this comes out to be, if you calculate this, this comes out to be 4 p q to the power n divided by pi n square root. If you want to work out, you can see that this e to the power minus 2n, e to the power minus 2n will be cancelled out, n to the power 2n, n to the power 2n will be cancelled out, pq to the power n is here, root pi n, every other thing will be cancelled out. So you will have only this. So P002n is this. Now what you are saying? You are saying that these two functions, so this implies that P002n is approximated by 4pq n to the power square root of pi n. So that is there. So now mathematical meaning is this: if fn and gn are related by this, that means the limit of n tending to infinite fn divided by gn is 1. So that means this says that limit of fn is this P002n divided by, if I call it gn divided by gn, should be 1. Okay, so this says that this limit should be 1. So if you go in the real analysis, then what does it mean? It means that there exists a positive integer, say k, okay, such that for n large enough, that means n greater than or equal to k, this quantity P002n divided by this gn minus 1, this mod will be less than epsilon, where epsilon is a positive number, any given positive number. So this is the by definition of convergence limit, that if this limit is this, then there exists a positive integer k such that whenever n is greater than or equal to k, then this difference must be less than epsilon. So this epsilon may be different also. So epsilon may be so what is it gives you? It gives you P002n divided by gn minus 1 less than epsilon. And this is, remember that this is true for every epsilon positive. That k will be different for every epsilon. So what it gives you? It gives you P00 2n is less than epsilon plus 1 times Gn, and this is minus epsilon here. So this gives you 1 minus epsilon times Gn. Okay. So if I take epsilon is equals to 1, so what it will give you? It will give you 0 here. This side it will give you 0. So here on different sides we can take different epsilons to show this. If for example, if you take epsilon is equals to 1 on this side, then you will get this quantity 2 times Gn. But you can take different epsilon and different k, then you can choose maximum of those k. So that will take some more steps. So I am not writing all those steps, but on this side I am choosing epsilon is equals to half. That is possible. So this is half times Gn. This is less than P00 2n. See what I am doing? I am doing actually, I am taking one epsilon, and for that I am finding the upper boundary. So for that epsilon, this k will be different, and upper boundary I am getting this. For the left hand side epsilon, if you want to say that you take epsilon 1 and epsilon 2, different epsilons. So you will get different k1 and different k2. So for epsilon 1 is equals to 1, I am finding the right hand side, and then epsilon is equals to half, I am finding the left hand side, and I am combining those sides. For if k1 and k2, then you just choose k is equals to maximum of k1 and k2, and you can do this. So this is from real analysis, so I am not going in much detail of this. So what we are getting actually, finally what we are getting, you just put the value of Gn. So what was Gn? You see what was Gn? Gn was 4pq to the power n divided by root pi n. So you just put those values. So half, this is 4pq to the power n divided by square root of pi n, and this is P00 2n, and this is 2 times 4pq to the power n divided by square root of pi n, and this is true for small n greater than or equal to k, for some fixed k. Now one can see that if you focus upon this pq, then this is nothing but p1 minus p. So if you consider it as a function, for example phi of p, that means if you consider it as a function of p, then you can easily see that phi prime p is p, that means 1 minus p square, that means 2p. So and then phi double prime p, so if you put it 0, you will get p is equals to half, and if you find out phi double prime p, you will get a negative number. That means at p is equals to half, this is a maxima. So this function will have a maximum value at p is equals to half. So that means it will have a maximum value half into half, which is 1 by 4. So if you multiply 4pq, it will have maximum value 1. So this says that 4pq has a maximum at p is equals to half. So now we are considering two things. When this pq is not 1 by 4, okay, that means p is not half, okay, then what will happen? Then we will focus upon n is equals to 0 to infinity p00 to the power n 2n. This is nothing but n is equals to 0 to n minus 1 p00 to n plus n is equals to not n, I should write it down, k, and this is k. Okay, so this is from k to infinite, and what is the value of p00? So p00 2n as it is. Now see, I will use this equation. I will use this. Now see, what is this? Is the probability. The maximum value of probability can be 1. So if you put here 1, if you put 1 here, then this right hand side will be bigger than the left hand side. And here you can see that this n is greater than or equal to k. So this p002n is smaller than this number. So I am putting this number here, 4 pq to the power n divided by root pi n. So what I am doing here, I am starting with n from 0 to infinity p0 to n, then I am breaking it from 0 to k minus 1 and k to infinite. Now you know that p00 is probability, so it can be at max 1. So if I replace all of these probabilities as 1, this right hand side will be bigger than the left hand side, and this p002n, that is bounded above by this number, so I am putting that number. So overall this sum will be bigger than this sum. Now you can understand this is nothing but k, and what is this? This n started this is, if you take it from 0, if I start it from 0 to infinite, so you can understand this is again less than k. So this is 2 times 4pq to the power n divided by square root of pi n. So what we have this series right now. See, remember all these things are positive. So I am taking from 0 k to infinite, I am taking from 0 to infinite. So this will be again bigger. Now this series, I am not going to going into detail. One can show that, see, so so this is your exercise. One can show that, using ratio test, this series summation n from 0 to infinite 4pq to the power n divided by this. Of course, I should not write down 0 here. 0 must not be written. So you just write from 1. Okay. So this is square root of this. So one can show that this is finite. That means this is a convergent series. Remember that whenever pq is not equal to 4, so this will be a convergent series. So you just use ratio test, which says that an plus 1 divided by an, if all of them are non-negative positive numbers, then an plus 1 divided by an, if you find out the limit of that, and that limit comes out to be any number which is less than 1 and bigger than 0, of course, then that series will be convergent. So you can see that if you consider this as an, then an plus 1 divided by an, if you find the limit, that limit comes out to be less than 1. You have to use this condition that pq 4 pq is less than 1. So this will be a finite number. So what you are getting? You are getting that if p and q are not half, then this series is finite. Now we will focus upon the case when pq multiply by pq is 1 by 4, that is p is equals to half. So now we will focus upon this. So then what we will get? Then again we start with 0 to infinite p00 2n. Then again I will break it 0 to k minus 1 p00 to n plus n ranges from k to infinite p00 to n. Now what we are going to do, see, these are the probabilities. So if you put all of them as 0, so this left hand side will be bigger. Now for this, since n is greater than or equal to k, so I will use this other part of the inequality, that p00 to n is bigger than half 4pq to the power n divided by root pi n. So now I am using the other part of the inequality. So this will be 4pq to the power n divided by 2 times root pi n. So this will be nothing but this will be 0, and again since this, so we can so this is equals to n from k to infinite 4pq to the power n divided by 2 times root pi n. But remember that pq is 1 by 4. So this implies that 4pq is nothing but 1. So this is summation n from k to infinite 4q pq is 1. So this is 1 divided by root n, and outside you can write it down 1 divided by 2 root pi. Now one can understand that this series, uh, you remember that 1 upon n to the power p, n ranges from 1 to infinite. This is divergent series for p between these numbers. So here this is n to the power half. So this series is a divergent series, and if you remove some finite number of elements, then series will also be divergent, because this is removing just some finite number of elements. So there is no problem. So this series will be a divergent series. And what you are saying, that this series is bigger than a divergent series. So of course this left hand side series will also diverge. So this implies that summation n from 0 to infinite p00 to n diverges for p is equals to q is equals to half. So what we are getting? We are getting two things. We are getting that this series diverges if p and q are half, and if this series converges if p and q are not half. So we can say that this series diverges if and only if p is half. So therefore, but because we have shown that if p is not half, this converges. So when p is half, this diverges. So that we can conclude that this condition is if and only if. So therefore, the series n ranges from 0 to infinite p00 to n diverges if and only if p and q both are same and both are half. Remember that why if and only if? Because if it is not the case, then the series will converge. So what does it mean? So it means that, which means the state 0 is recurrent. State 0 is recurrent. Hence, so recurrent if and only if p is equals to q is equals to half. Okay. So thus we can conclude that thus the one dimensional random walk, one dimensional unrestricted symmetric random walk. Why I am saying symmetric random walk? Because symmetric random walk. So this word symmetric includes that P and Q both are same. So that if P and Q both are same, then this is known as symmetric random walk. So thus the one-dimensional unrestricted symmetric random walk is recurrent. Means if it is symmetric, it will be recurrent. So you can say that a random walk is symmetric if and only if it is symmetric. A one-dimensional unrestricted random walk is recurrent if and only if it is symmetric. That can also be written here. So what does it mean? It means that if P and Q are not same, if P and Q are not same, then states will be transient. States will be transient means there will be a positive probability that an object starting from the origin will never return to origin. So that means if object starts from origin and it will never return to origin. So what does it mean? It means it will go either up to positive infinity, either up to plus infinity, or it will go up to minus infinity. That can be shown. So this was the one-dimensional symmetric random walk. Now the same thing is for two-dimensional random walks. So now we will focus upon two-dimensional unrestricted unrestricted random walk. So what is this? In two-dimensional unrestricted random walk, what does it mean? It means this is, for example, your origin. This is 1, this is 2, this is 3, and so on. This is minus 1, this is minus 2, this is minus 3, and so on. This is plus 1, 2, and 3, and so on. This is minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, and so on. So if you are here, you can move on x-axis right side or on x-axis left side, or you can move on y-axis up or on y-axis down. So there are these possibilities where you can move. So if I consider that this random walk is symmetric, okay, unrestricted symmetric random walk, I am just talking about symmetric random walk because symmetric random walk. What does it mean? It means the movement, upside movement is also with probability 1 by 4, or you move right side with the same probability, you move left side, the probability is 1 by 4, you move downward, the probability is 1 by 4. So wherever you move, all the probabilities are 1 by 4 because there are 4 possible movements. So we have distributed the total probability 1 equally in these 4 possibilities. So that is known as symmetric random walk. So if it is a symmetric random walk, then we want to know whether this will be recurrent or transient. So now you can again understand that this chain is irreducible because you can go from any state to any state easily. The movements are possible. So we will see that whether this is recurrent or not. The state 0 is recurrent or not. So consider. So we consider first. Consider all paths. Okay, whereby we move I units to the right, I units to the right, I units to the left j units down and j units up. So if you consider all these things, so of course we consider that 2i 2j is equals to n. So remember again here, if you want to if you start from state 0 and want to return back to state 0, again you cannot return back in odd number of steps. You have to take even number of steps. For example, here I units forward, I units backward, I units j units up, j unit down. So these units will be even. So in odd number of units you cannot come back. So we have what we have. Again we have P00 in odd number of steps is 0 for any n. You cannot come back in odd number of steps. That is not possible. And what is P002n? That means in even number of steps. So now in one dimensional case you have used the binomial distribution. Now we can use multinomial distribution. So if you use multinomial distribution, this will be nothing but factorial 2n, that because 2n steps are there, and then factorial I steps right, I steps left, j steps up, and j steps down. So these are the overall possibilities, and all probabilities are 1 by 4. So this will be 1 by 4 to the power n, and range I and j ranges such that I plus j can be n. See, here from here I plus j can be n. So these are the possibilities, and of course n can be 1, 2, 3 and so on. So again we have to focus upon this. So if you see what is this, so after some manipulations I will show you those manipulations. I plus j is equals to n. So what I am doing, factorial 2n divided by factorial n and factorial n. I am multiplying this by in numerator and denominator. So this is factorial I and factorial I minus this c factorial I and this j. J can be, what is j? J is nothing but n minus I. Remember that j is n minus I. So one and another is I factorial and n minus I factorial. So instead of j I am writing this. So what it will give you, and then I ranges from, then of course summation will be I ranges from 0 to n. So I am just putting j is equals to n minus I and multiplying by factorial n square in numerator and denominator. So what it will give you, and this is 1 by 4 to the power 2n. So remember that this. Now what it will give you, it will give us 1 by 4 to the power 2n outside, and this is nothing but 2n cn. This is 2n cn, and inside I from 0 to n, this is nci factorial n divided by I and n minus I. This is nci, and another is n minus I. So this is nothing but this NCR. Just I am using the formula of NCR. Now there is a result from binomial coefficients that this sum is actually 2n-cn. This can be verified by you, that summation I from 0 to n NCi and NCn minus I, this is nothing but 2NCn. This can be verified by you. So I am leaving it for you to verify. So what we are getting? We are getting that this is 1 by 4 to the power 2n. This is 2n, 1 by 4 to the power 2n and 2n Cn whole square also. So if you again using Stirling formula, so if you again use Stirling formula, see now I am not going to give you details because we have seen the details once. So if you use Stirling formula, then what we will have, we will show that P00 2n can be approximated by 1 upon pi n. So you can show this by using Stirling formula that P00 2n can be approximated by this. So this implies that summation P00 2n, n ranges from 0 to infinite, is infinite. Why? Since it is approximated by this and summation of this is also infinite. We know that this. So since this is approximated by this and sum of this series is infinite, so this series will be infinite. So this implies that state 0 is recurrent, and which implies that chain is recurrent. That again, if you start from state 0, the process will end in state 0 infinitely many times. So this chain is recurrent because chain is irreducible. Every state is communicable to each other, any other state. So chain is recurrent. Now this we have seen that in one dimensional the chain is recurrent, in two dimensional the chain is recurrent. So I must remark here. I must remark here a very important remark. Without proof, I am writing here that the in three dimensional, so however, that means you have seen that in two dimensional it is possible, but in three dimensional, in the three dimensional symmetric random walk, there is a there is a positive probability, there is a positive probability that once the particle leaves a state, it never returns. So if you are discussing three-dimensional symmetric random walk, then states will be transient. So you have seen in one-dimensional symmetric random walk, states are recurrent. In two-dimensional symmetric random walk, states are again recurrent. But you can show that in three-dimensional symmetric random walk, states will be transient. So you cannot generalize here that if one and two dimensionals are recurrent, then three dimensional will be recurrent. So no, that is not the case here. If you want to show, if you want to see the proof, you can go through the book by this Samuel Carlin and Taylor, First Course in Stochastic Processes. In that book, the proof is given. So I will stop here uh, and thank you for your hearing. listening this lecture. Thank you very much.